There are at least 30,000 gangs active across the U.S. today, from the East Coast to the West Coast. They vie for territory to control crime rings, or simply for the love of fighting. Among the country's 800,000 gang members, 50,000 are women, and the numbers are growing. This is the story of 4 gang girls who grew up in the hood.
I'm a loc in these streets. Everybody know who I am.
I wasn't scared to do anything. I had fun causing other people harm.
From their initiation.
One of the ways that become a gang member as a female, have sex or fight.
Ready to go.
To their gang-banging lifestyle.
The lifestyle that I was living was so dangerous that I was just welcoming the idea of death.
They reveal what it takes to be part of a gang.
Robbing, stealing, killing, do whatever you gotta do.
And what it takes to get out.
The only way out of a gang is death. I'm gangbang till I die.
I asked you, well, tell me about your life.
Most people wouldn't even imagine I come from where I come from.
It's a linear telling of history. What does that mean?
The chronological?
Why tell the story chronologically?
It's a reference,
Well, go ahead.
a point of reference. Most of them think I'm just an older student who decided to go back to school after being a mom.
Well, history is always secondhand, because we weren't there.
My name is Denise, and I'm a former gangster. Before I even started hanging out with gangs, I had that gangster mentality. I was always the one that was stealing. I was always the ones bringing weed to school, drinking at school. All I did was fight. That was my solution for everything. That's how I dealt with everything. I felt there's no reason for me to be good, then I'm out of here. So I was, homeless in Hollywood from the age of 14. And there was really not too much influence from my parents after that. It was the streets. When I was 19, I started really hanging out with some particular Crips, getting in a whole lot of trouble, and went to jail my first time. I may not be in the hood anymore. I may have changed my playground, my playmates, but my thinking is still there. I think once a gangster, always a gangster.
What's up? I'm Rozzy. I'm 20 years old. You wouldn't think, while looking at me, I'm a gangbanger. I can walk down the street, bang all day, and you still wouldn't think I'm from nowhere because of what I got on and how I look. I look like a normal person. My secret is I'm a Crip. People think gangsta is what you see on BET. You see people sagging to their knees, throwing up money. All of that's not gangsta. That's flashiness. That's, for TV. Gangbangers don't do that. You can't sag all the way to your knees in the hood because you may have to run, or the police is gonna bump you up. I joined when I was around 14, 15. I'm the only one who's actually a gang member in my family. My mom, my dad, my sisters, and my brother, they're not gang members. See, my daddy was affiliated with them. He wasn't a gang member. I joined gangs for many reasons. Too many to name. Protection, reputation, getting money, I was new out here, didn't really know what was going on, and I felt as if nobody was gonna punk me, basically.
Rosalind came from a loving home. I don't understand why she ended up, wanting to be out in the streets.
My mother is a Christian, therefore she don't know nothing about the streets. And my daddy, he knows about it, but he didn't want me to be too much in on it. So if I got into a fight or somebody trying to jump me, I couldn't really go to my parents. I was like 11 when I first got my first fight, and I got jumped by some 18th Street girls.
I would overhear conversations, Grace is with a gang or something, but I was, I guess, in denial.
Got matching tattoos. This one is the hood, that's my block. And I have a butterfly right here.
What's the T?
This one is my hood name, TT, Lil Toe Tag.
How'd you get that name?
How did I get it? My older friends saw my reputation, you know, that's about all I can say. My name is Red, and I'm a member of the Bloods. I'm in jail for a drug sale to an undercover cop. I got sentenced to a county bullet, which is a year, but been coming here since I was 16, so they know me. The day I was arrested, I was at my mom's house visiting my son. I walked out to the ice cream truck. Gang unit was down the road, and they snapped pictures of me. They was already watching me. When I went back in the house, my mom was told me to turn myself in. The last time I saw my son was the day I got locked up. He knows that he have to be better than me. I don't want him to go through what I went through. I grew up in a drug-infested neighborhood, a lot of gang-banging and drugs. At 14 years old, me and my best friend, we got to fighting with undercover cops, so when we went to court, we got locked up. And then I got pregnant, and my mom, she didn't want nothing to do with me, so I went into a group home. My second time in juvie was for assault, when I got to fighting with a girl and I cut her. But I wasn't in a gang, I was just a problem child. When I was 17, me and my best friend was in a car accident, and my right arm got amputated below my elbow. From that point on, I just wanted to hurt everybody. I didn't accept myself, so I rejected my family and I accepted gang members into my life. And my boyfriend, he asked me if I really loved him, I would join the gang with him, and I did. I loved him, so I joined it.
I believe in karma. What comes around goes around. But I'm also a provider of karma, so if you mess with me, you're gonna get your karma. Even to this day, I don't mess around anymore, but don't get on my bad side. I'm a mom first, a professional second, a homegirl third, and I'm a former gangbanger. I think girls want to get into gangs because either their boyfriends are from there or they're seeking that love and that attention because they didn't have a dad, so they're looking for a father figure or survival. I never met my dad. He got killed in the projects by our rival enemies, his rival enemies. Just growing up without a dad really just messed me up. You know, my heroes were my brother and my dad. So I wanted to be just like them. And I was. By 12, I was in and out of group homes. At 13, I was arrested for battery and taken to juvenile hall. After that, it was downhill. Juvenile hall was like my home away from home until my brother started taking me to the hood and chilling with the homies in the projects. It was official the day my brother took me to the projects. It was over. I knew that's where I wanted to be.
Coming up.
I probably wouldn't have thought that women were as dangerous as men until I became as dangerous as my male friends. I used to get a kick out of seeing people hurt.
And later.
The lifestyle that I was living was so dangerous that I was just welcoming the idea of death.
My son has paid the price.
Your son had bacterial meningitis, Jimmy. An illness.
Don't you believe in God?
Jimmy, let me go.
Answer me.
Ask him why he killed my brother.
Did you get the guy that did it? How did you kill him?
President Truman has chosen you to lead a highly classified mission. This mission could save millions of American lives.
America wants this war to end quickly.
Jesus. Are you talking about the atomic bomb?
Send a message loud and clear.
I'm Detective Nancy Pachar Staphelaris with the Passaic County Prosecutor's Office Gang Intelligence Unit here in Paterson, New Jersey. I've been working as a police officer for about 11 years, and about 7 of those years doing gang intelligence work.
You see he's going already, you don't want to...
This dude left that over here. We go out and we proactively suppress gang and narcotics activities. The Bloods is probably the biggest threat that Paterson has as far as gang members within our jurisdiction. So on the wall there, you'll see names on there. Tish, Dollar Bill.
That list, they call it a roll call.
That's a good way for us to identify the members that are within the gang because of the tagging and the roll calls that are on the wall within the graffiti. Most of the names that were on that wall were all female names. There has been an increase in females in incarceration. Probably over the last 10 years, it's been increased over 50%. We're finding that there's a lot more women that are coming up within the ranks of the Bloods gangs. We have the most females identified within the Blood groups.
Crips are everywhere, Bloods are everywhere, gangs are everywhere. And other gangs branching off of Crip and Blood, like Hoovers and Paru branches off of Blood, and Grape Street, branches off of Crips. Wearing the wrong color in the wrong neighborhood is life-threatening, even if you ain't in the gang. Even if you're out of town, even if you is a loser in school, if you're wearing the wrong colors and somebody just own one, it's a wrap for you. You're putting your life on the line for this block you claiming and this color you wearing. You can grow up together and all of that, but if you from this side of the tracks and I'm from that side of the tracks and we don't get along, you're automatically an enemy. I have a lot of enemies, more enemies than I can count, more enemies than I know of. One of the ways that become a gang member as a female is have sex. That's why people think, oh, you must have got on, basically.
Just get it over with. Just get it over and done with. Everybody got yayo step.
Or you can fight.
Go now. Go. Ready to go.
Or, do whatever else they ask you to do, basically. If you do it, you get put on. There's a lot of different ways to get put on. A lot of different ways.
Females in the past have always been sexed into the gang where they have to have sex with several of the high-ranking members.
They some hoes, scrapes, people that don't mean nothing, some tramps, some tricks. What did I do? I fought. I'm small and people think that they can, do whatever, punk me, talk to me however they want to, and I have to let them know what the business is. You ain't about to, back me into no corner, have all my homegirls and everybody that know me like, oh, Rozzy ding, I heard this, woo. Negative.
A lot of the females now, they're taking in the jumping method because they're gaining status in the gang and getting more respect from the gang members themselves by getting jumped in instead of sexting.
I never got jumped in. You know, you can call it walked in, you can call it whatever, but it was more like genetics. Like, I was born into it. My whole family was from it, so that's where I was from, and wasn't nobody gonna tell me anything else. Gangbanging and putting in work was just kind of a way of living, as opposed to something you thought about doing.
Range Rock.
This is where I spent most of my time. There was homies all up and down here. The cops would come. There's an alley back there, so we used to run up the stairs and hide on top of the stairs. And so they couldn't find us unless they came, and if they came in walking, we'd knock on the neighbor's door and they'd always let us in. It wasn't like the same old every day, because we had something different popping off all the time. If it wasn't partying, drinking, it was rolling around looking for enemies. And we were known as the most notorious gang on the West Side because of all the mayhem and work we put in.
Some of the things that I knew that my gang affiliates were into were drive-bys, gang rapes, robbery was real big.
Robbing, stealing, killing, doing whatever you gotta do.
Always fighting. You can't really go nowhere because, oh, you worried about who's gonna see you and what hood you in.
Some people are more active than others. Some of them are watchdogs. Some of them are gunners. Some of them are just fighters. Some of them are decoys.
There's no designated job for anybody, but if somebody, you know, hurts your homeboy or your family or the person from your clique, then you're the one that's designated to go take care of somebody else.
In many, many, many instances, I was the best kept secret because I can look Caucasian, because I can clean up well, because I can fit in any neighborhood. I can go anywhere and I can do things that other people might not be able to pull off. I can go into enemy areas and they just think I'm some white girl walking down the street.
I think that women are starting to gain more status in the gang community because the fact that they're committing a lot of more unconventional crimes.
Women are for sure meeting men where they're at in terms of violence. I probably wouldn't have thought that women were as dangerous as men until I became as dangerous as my male friends. When would go on in the hood and they knew that it was girl-related, they would call me, and I'd handle my business.
Have you ever been involved in a drive-by?
I'm not sure.
Could you tell us what's the worst crime you've ever committed?
No, not really. I can't tell you nothing. People should know that there are female gang members with, like, you know, stripes that will dust you off.
A lot of gang members get that kick off of feeling powerful and feared. Once you're powerful and people fear you, you run.
Actually, I was addicted to the lifestyle. I had fun causing other people harm. I used to get excited when I saw other people fear me. I wasn't scared to do anything. I would be the ringleader and get in a whole lot of trouble. Even if I had the idea of wanting to change, the way I was living was the only life that I knew.
Sometimes they don't have a choice. If they're born into the gang, they don't know any other lifestyle, and it's very hard because of economic reasons. They have children, they want to maybe leave the lifestyle, but they really don't have the opportunities to do that.
Once you join the gang for your life, and it's not like, I want to be from this hood for a couple of months just to see how it is. No, you can't do that.
As a gang member, you kind of pledge your life. It's do or die. Do or get done.
The only way out of a gang is death. So there's no way I can get out. I wouldn't want to get out anyway.
Coming up.
I've been arrested 23 times, but I didn't learn anything but how to commit more crimes, how to have no hope.
And later.
I could say I don't want to come back to jail, but I'm gangbang till I die.
We have all sorts of rocks in no. I can train through. We have rocks you can line to live rocks. No matter who you are, there's a rock you love in Oregon. are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, I work in a basement, doing a secret job I can't even tell my mother about. What could possibly be wrong?
I think he snapped.
Kill them both.
Don't be nervous. We're gonna have to,
Where did she come from? This is rented.
I have no idea. It's your vacation.
I am, in fact, a librarian.
Looks like rubbish.
It's a bomb. We know who set it off. We just don't yet know who put him up to it. You were there when the bomb went off.
And I certainly know nothing about it. I'm a lady, not an anarchist.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Where do you think you're going, Pops?
I'm looking for Sleepy. I'm a friend.
I think you're in the wrong place. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, the streaming struggle is real. With Plex, you can see what's trending across the streaming universe. Search for any movie or TV show. Create a single watch list for all your streaming services. Download Plex today. Stream without the struggle.
Gang life in jail is like you can't sleep, you can't be off point because you never know who's who and what is what. I have a lot of enemies. Basically, being affiliated with a gang, that's where most of my enemies come from.
A lot of times, or they'll feel more comfortable admitting their gang membership in the jail.
They'll self-admit in the jail for the simple reason is they don't want to get stuck in the wrong dorm or day room with the wrong gang. You're a blood and you get stuck with the Crips. You're a king and you get stuck with MSD. You're gonna have a problem.
They're not gonna put a blood and a Crip together because they know that it's gonna be a fight and it can get deadly. I actually been arrested and handcuffed and taken down to Dade County or whatever, like 3 times.
What'd you go to jail for?
Stuff I can't talk to you about why I got arrested for.
I went to the county for 5 days, and it was the worst 5 days of my life.
I've been arrested 23 times and I didn't learn anything but how to commit more crimes, how to have no hope. That's what you learn. Hopelessness and how to give up.
Jail is horrible. And I think that is no place for no human being, not for Rozzy.
My first strike was for 459 PC burglary, and my second strike was for drug possession. So I had 2 strikes by the time I was 27. I was also selling drugs and using drugs, which takes you to a whole nother world. I put myself in positions to get hurt. The lifestyle that I was living was so dangerous that I was just welcoming the idea of death. I had robbed and did so much harm to other people that eventually people were gonna come back and get me. And the other option was I was gonna get a 3rd strike and I was gonna do life. So I was kind of in a die-die situation at that point. When I got out, my parole agent let me go to a drug program. I haven't been the same since. I haven't been back to jail since. I'm in several 12-step programs. Those people really saved my life. All right. My name is Denise. I'm a recovering alcoholic, recovering addict, recovering gangster. I'm a recovering criminal. I'm recovering in many, many, many areas of my life. They taught me how to look at myself instead of everyone else. They taught me how to look at myself as a survivor rather than a victim. People tell you that you're the last person to know that you changed. Everyone else notices it before you do. It's not until someone disrespects me and I don't spit in their face that I realize, oh, wow, maybe I'm kind of changing. It took me a long time to change that behavior, because it's not just about me not being active in the hood. It's deeper than that. It's about how I think and how I act and how I treat other people. Knuckleheads like Miss Thang over there motivate me, because I know that they're watching me. I know that they're still trying to find a way out. They're still trying to understand, how the hell did she do that? And if I falter, they'll never get it. I'm an open book because I'm not ashamed of my past. I believe my past has made me who I am.
You're awesome.
I thought it was boring tonight. Was it boring tonight?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Hi.
Hey.
I met my mentor, Laura, in juvenile hall, and she's the reason I'm where I'm at today, and she saved my life. Oh, you look so pretty.
When I first met Cassandra, she was definitely a gangster-looking girl. Beyond your edge, you always had ambition and drive, which made you different, for me at that time, than all the other girls. While Cassandra had her edge, always, at that time, there was definitely an open door.
The only positive thing that I had in juvenile hall was you. When I met her one day, she was like, you know, Cassandra, it's like, if you want to beat the system, you've got to fake it to make it. Do what you got to do, but do it with a smile, and so they got no choice but to like you. I kind of faked it so much, I guess it became me. So, like, I feel like you were brought to me to give me perspective. So you were like my second mom, and I started liking being nice, and it just changed my whole personality. So one day I was at an anti-police brutality rally, and there was an organization there, and it was mothers who had lost their kids to, gangs, violence. And I was looking at some of the kids that were in these posters, and I seen one kid on there that I recognized from middle school. And it was kind of a slap in the face. It hurt, because I remembered his face. And I broke down in tears, and I cried, and I cried, and I cried. At that point, I was like, I could never, ever, 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 ever go back to gangbanging. Like, I declared it. Like, I will never hurt anybody again.
The changes I've seen in Cassandra are just astonishing, really.
Almost 11 years later, and I'm still crying.
I'm extremely proud of her. I'm so proud to know her.
Do you remember that time my car got impounded? And then you knew that if I didn't have my car, I wouldn't be able to get to work or school, and blah, 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 and I had the baby. Right. And then remember, you loaned me money to get my car out. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the barriers that you knocked down for me, so that I was able to keep going and keep pushing, because if I wouldn't have had my car, I would have lost my job. And you took me to the Gap and bought Savannah her first pair of clothes, like pajama pants. And then remember the time she took me shopping at Costco because we didn't have no food at the house.
I mean, now that you're saying them, but I don't think back and remember those things. Of course not,
because you're a giving person. But for people, like me, who you've really impacted, like, I can't forget those kind of things. I'm extremely blessed that I have someone like Laura in my life, because not a lot of young people have people like her, and I can honestly say from the depth of my heart that if it wasn't for Laura, I wouldn't be where I am today.
I don't know that there's even that many programs that help gang boys. I mean, it's the sort of thing that gets cut easily, but I think there's even less programs to specifically help gang girls.
Please, everybody, eat breakfast before you come to work, okay?
I'm Father Greg Boyle. I'm the founder and executive director of Homeboy Industries, which is the largest gang intervention rehab center in the country. We have this big service center with tattoo removal, mental health counseling, legal services. We find jobs for formerly gang-involved youth. These are folks who are really damaged. That's the profile of any gang member. Even more intensified is the profile of a female who's happened to find her way into a gang. mental abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, every manner of abuse.
You know, having a felony background and stuff like that, it was hard to keep a steady job. I spent the duration of 10 years in prison for gang-related crimes and stuff that was part of the streets. I've had several different jobs, but no matter how good of an employee I was, once the fingerprints came through, I was unable to keep them. So I decided to come ask Father Greg for a job. And he's not looking at the exterior, he looks at the interior, and he sees in us our own qualities that we don't even see. It just lets me know I'm an asset, not a liability.
When I first started working at Homeboys, I seen enemies, I seen people that I used to get down with. It's like, damn, it was hard, real hard. Just put them up like close like that. And I was like, I talked to people that from different gangs, which I don't get along with, and we're like, cool, and I mean, like whatever, I just, oh, hey, what's up, you know? And before it'll be something like, you know, hey, I'll see you and I'll kill you, you know what I mean?
How you doing today? Nobody ever says, I want to get out of my gang. They come in and says, I'm tired of being tired. I don't want to be out there anymore. It's about choosing this, and hopefully they will, you know.
My name is Shavella Quinn, and I'm going to try to talk to Rosalind about her participation if she wants to make a transition to try to get out of this gang. I'm Shavella Rosalind.
Known as Rosie.
I do this kind of work because I believe in people.
What you want to know?
I believe in redemption and correction. I believe that some people deserve a second chance. And Rosalind represents the percentage of people who might have been misguided along their way, along their journey in life. How long have you been banging?
Since I was 13. I'm 20 now.
You know at a point that you're gonna have to stop banging. How do you feel about cutting ties with the people that you had in your past? That lifestyle and that kind of behavior is unproductive, it's unhealthy, and gangbanging life, it's just not cool. I mean, because you don't realize as a young woman, if you're being led by a man, they have ulterior motives for getting you involved. When you're underage, you can catch a case, you're not gonna do as much time, they get you twisted up in drugs. All of this is in the name of the gang. Who's gonna pay for your funeral if something happened to you? If somebody retaliates against you, you know, what if they come back and shoot your mama or shoot your brother or shoot somebody close to you? One mistake, and that'll be your life. You're wasting your life when you're gangbanging. There's nothing beneficial at all in gangbanging, nothing at all. You're not even valued as a young woman. You want to move forward in your life and you want something stable in your life, right? It's best to just cut all ties if possible.
I just gotta write it down in my memory so I can remember what she said for the future.
My heart goes out to young girls, it just does. Because you have to have the right navigator who believes in you and who can say, hey, you can start over.
Coming up.
I only worry about getting shot if we at war with somebody.
Shnu got hurt.
I heard there's like 15, 20 people in the hospital now.
And later.
I know the life that I live, there's no telling what can happen to me.
Here are all rocks. So do or what you do. They're rock you love and burden.
Looks like rubbish.
It's a bomb. We know who set it off. We just don't yet know who put him up to it. You were there when the bomb went off.
And I certainly know nothing about it. I'm a lady, not an anarchist.
She's beautiful. It's a pity you don't stand a chance with her.
Back up, homies, and let go of my uncle!
We're offering $10,000 to anyone who can capture them, dead or alive.
America wants this war to end quickly.
Jesus, are you talking about the atomic bomb?
Send a message loud and clear.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes, and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
My first time going to jail was a felony. I ended up voluntarily signing adoption papers to my mother when I was in jail, on my way to prison. My 2 oldest, which are girls. I've been involved with my daughter's life consistently since 1999 when I got out of prison.
Who's winning? She is.
I went from when I first got out, you know, they could take me or leave me alone, they didn't care. To now they ask to see me. You know, we do hair and, you know, we go shopping and we play games.
Okay, you know what? Back in the game, we're gonna win. We're gonna win now that I'm here. Because I'm the knower of everything.
I have not tried to push my motherhood on them. I'm there for them if they need to talk to me. I see them as often as I can. What I've tried to do is show them rather than tell them that my life is different. Because they know where I came from. So if they see that I came from this destructive lifestyle and now I'm in college, in the back of their mind, no matter what they're going through, they'll know that they can do it too. I just didn't want my son to be 16 years old and I'm still on welfare with no education. And my son says, you know, I have to go sell dope or I gotta go rob somebody to help my mama pay bills. You know, and I just don't want my son to have to go through that. He's a young black boy who's gonna grow up to be a black man, and I don't want him to be 18 and not go away to college because he doesn't want to leave his mama behind.
Suddenly, from out of the dark trees, there came a wolf. Good morning, Dejan, said the wolf.
In the beginning, as far as wanting to change my life, sadly to say, they weren't really the factor. But now they're my motivation now.
Little Red Riding Hood promised not to talk to strangers in the woods again. The end.
I thought you were hungry. What happened?
No, I live for my kids. The life I live is just too good to give it up for anybody or anything. My mindset when I was in the gang was really cold-hearted. I didn't think about anything or anyone. I didn't care.
Well, go pick a shirt, go.
But now I can't live like that. My kids are just too important to me. I won't let them go through the things that I went through. This is where my dad died, right here, from alley. They came in through the other side on mopeds and came through this alley and shot at him. And my dad died and 2 other guys got shot. They weren't specifically going after my dad, they were just going after anybody who was from. You never think about the consequences when you gangbang. You just go day by day, and then if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And if you don't get busted or you don't get shot, you just consider it a blessing that You know, you were one of the lucky ones. I didn't think I was gonna live past 16.
Travel 600 North Mont, 600 North Mont.
What's going on in the neighborhood? It's a war right now, and now they shooting each other up. The usual. I only worry about getting shot, see if we at war with somebody. Shnu got hurt. I heard there's like 15, 20 people in the hospital now from that shit. Some reasons why you can get shot is for somebody messing with your family, messing with your kin, or who you affiliate with. Where you from, or you dealing with emotions, or this that shot my little brother. I'm about to go shoot him. My friends have been shot. Cannonball, Bruce, Johnny, R.I.P. shot. They just caught slipping. Yeah, we on our way to go to see Fred at the Inglewood Cemetery. So when that's over, I'll call you back. The closest person to me that got shot is Fred from Rolling 60s. They have a lot of enemies. He passed this couple of weeks. He was 19. Dang, look at all of them though. It's a lot. I wonder where's Fred? Cuz already was in a wheelchair, like he already was paralyzed, and then for somebody to shoot a paralyzed person 3 times in the head, that's really like, well, dang. They rolled up on him and like, bang your hood now, and just, you know, shot him. But what can I do? Can't do nothing but live with it. Can't do nothing but deal with it. Damn, 17 again, 18. All these young ass kids.
Coming up, if it wasn't for people seeing something in me that I didn't see and having some hope in me that I didn't have, I wouldn't be here. I'd be doing life or I'd be dead.
Toothbrush.
Sweet, thank you.
Common Ground is at the Westside HIV Community Center. The program that I coordinate is the Homeless Youth Peer Education Program, and we provide services to homeless youth.
You know, a lot of people look up to her because of all the things that she's been through and what she's accomplishing. I look up to her.
See, she's just proof and an example of you can't judge a book by its cover and don't judge anyone on their past.
You want a soup too? I know that I can help them better than most people. It's off the hook. I mean, I get paid to do this. I get paid to help people who does that. So I'm blessed. When you're doing this kind of work, it's not about colors or gang signs or neighborhoods or territory. It's about working together to serve your community and fight a bigger cause. Doing social work is not limited to the community and the immediate people I work with. You know, my brother's an active gang member, and I want to help him too.
Crack it, fool. I came from a life of gangs and violence. I started getting real active when I was like 12, 13. Cassandra is always right there trying to get me off the streets.
Did you ever think you'd make it to 28?
I wasn't trying to make it to 18.
Me neither.
You just keep on doing your thing, you know, and eventually, you know, one goes, the other one follows, even if you're younger than me.
I just figure, like, if I can't help you out, like, who can I help? I mean, ultimately, you make your own decisions, but if I can't keep you out of jail...
Yeah, but there's other cats out there that are younger than me, you know, that need some kind of influence like that, too. So, I mean, even though, say, if it didn't work out with me, you know, it doesn't mean that you failed.
There's been a lot of young people that I've helped get out the hood, and, you know, he's a grown man, he makes his own decisions. But I do hope that he does one day, because I don't want to go to my brother's funeral.
Nigga, so what's cracking tonight?
There is a way out of gangbanging and the lifestyle, and I'm proof.
I have been
actively involved in BKF, which stands for Black Karate Federation, since 1991. I am a black belt. I'm going to show Rosalind some strategies of how to get out of fights, how to defend yourself. There's a lot to do with submission.
Don't like discipline at all. But right now, I'm just trying to get myself together.
Gang activity is fighting, so I want to show her that she can channel that energy in a positive direction.
Jab, good. Okay, 2 is your right cross. Good, and 3 is your kick, okay? Good. Martial artists, you face your fears every time you get on the mat just to practice. It becomes a game. So you have one less thing to worry about, which is an ass whooping. So what you begin to focus on is the things that bring about clarity to one's life. Security, self, community. You know, these things only come about when the fear is taken out of it.
Throw your leg back.
Nice. Good.
I can't live in fear. Where would I be then?
There is a real way out. I'm your opponent. You just have to start with you. You have to be the first person to save yourself.
Nice.
And that means that you have to recognize that you're worth saving first.
Okay.
Quick learner.
If I want to do this, gotta follow the rules. And I have to apply myself. I'm not dead yet. Time is running out, so gotta start sometime.
Now I'm about to be released in a little while from the jail. I'm going home today, so now I'll finally get to wear my own sneakers. See the red in it, represent my color. Kappa about to come get me and then probably bring me out there. I have to meet with my gang members because they're my family and I've been away from them. I have to get reacquainted with all the stuff that I missed out on. What time are you picking me up? I got butterflies in my stomach because I know the life that I live is no telling what can happen to me. I could say I don't want to come back to jail, but I live a gangbanging life, so any given time, like I said, I could come back here. I'm going to meet with my homies. I hope I don't come back, but like I said, I don't know. The life I live, I could come back. I'm gangbang till I die.
Do you think that's why there was so many issues with having like Black history being taught? Because it's another view?
Right.
My mentality's changed a lot, and a lot of that has to do with education. I'm currently in my master's program at Cal State Fullerton as a sociology major. What really keeps me going is to show those who think that they can't get out, that they can get out. And the more I struggle, the more it makes me get off my ass and keep moving. It does. I can recall one time when I was homeless in Hollywood. I used to sleep in the bleachers at LACC. I used to get up real early in the morning and I would go in the bathrooms before the school really became active and I would wash up. I was walking through the campus and it was one of them like perfect days. The grass was real green, the sun was just perfect, and there were some college kids studying up under the tree. And I remember just for a split second looking at them, kind of like gazing at them like, you know, that's so nice. They seem so happy and everything seems so perfect and wonderful. And, you know, it's not gonna be me, but that's real sweet. 2 years ago, I was in Cal State Fullerton and I was studying for a final and I was getting ready to meet a study group and I was sitting up under a tree and I went to lay down on my backpack for a minute. And when I looked up, I realized, wow. And it made me remember those other students. And I get choked up still when I tell that story because I still sometimes wonder how I got here. How did I get here? How did I get here? It's a trip. I was most likely in society in general, not just in school, to not succeed. We're jumping around in chapters.
Yeah, that's true. Thanks.
The difference between where Denise started and where Denise is now as a graduate student is a galaxy away. So many of our young people in this society have no ability to imagine what's out there and what's possible, and I think her story really is an inspiration in that sense.
She made the dean's list and she excelled beyond anyone's dreams, you know. She was a motivation to me, for me to pursue my PhD and get up off my tail and do something positive.
If it wasn't for people seeing something in me that I didn't see and having some hope in me that I didn't have, I wouldn't be here. I'd be doing life or I'd be dead. I'm Denise. I'm a mother and a master's degree candidate at Cal State Fullerton.
I think gangs will always be here. I think gangs been since the beginning. Even Jesus had a gang. He had his 12 disciples, you know, so it's all about family. That's where it all started from, and it just kind of went out of control, you know what I mean? So we need to go back to the basics, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen.